Hello, hello, listeners of Align with Your Dharma. How is your August went? How did it go? And are you looking forward to September? I am looking forward to September. I'm so grateful for the August. I've learned so many valuable lessons in my life, and I'm implementing all of those lessons that I've learned. So my life could be, much easier going forward. And I'm super, super grateful for people in my life and for all the blessings that I have. Because sometimes it's easy for us to think when we face challenges, why is it happening, to me? But all the challenges we go through, it's happening for us. It depends on what perspective, what kind of lens we are wearing to look at that challenge, right? So I am super grateful for everything that is happening in my life, even if it is a challenge. I'm like, okay, how can I grow through this challenge? Is what I look into. And I am super excited today for you and for me because we are going to talk to this wonderful individual who is bringing in lots of wisdom from what she has gone through and she has worked with. And she's in the wellness field. And this individual, she's an awesome individual. She is a dedicated wellness professional with over 14 years of experience in the field and with a strong focus on Apotho'Corrie. Corrie is a passionate about harnessing the power of the gut-brain axis and the microbiome to support wellness at a cellular level. I am super excited to pick her brain, to ask questions. We all know how what we eat, how it affects our brain, and vice versa. So, as a wellness professional, Corey understands that the true well being goes way beyond surface level fixes. So, through in depth research and continuous learning, she has developed a deeper understanding of the intricate connection between our gut health and the overall wellness of our body. So we are going to talk to her so she can help us understand how to optimize our health and unlock our full potential. I'm sure you are excited too. So she has a very friendly, approachable demeanor. So I'm looking forward to talking to her and hope you benefit as well from this conversation. Hello, Corey. How are you? I'm so grateful that you are here talking to us about um, what you have gone through and what you have learned in your life. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Arana. I am Corey. I have been a nurse for over the 15 years now, actually. Um, so throughout my medical training and working in the hospital, I've just seen a pattern
Mm,
of people coming in with chronic conditions, having their symptoms managed, sent out the door just to come right back in.
mm,
So this definitely led me into a basically wanting to learn more about root cause
mm,
for these chronic conditions. So that had me dive into the holistic portion of health to actually get to the root cause of some of these chronic conditions. So, in the
yeah.
gut-brain axis is um, a huge part of the body and everything that we put in and how it's
Mm,
absorbed and
mhm,
how it's not absorbed and things
mhm.
like that. So,
It's ironic you say that. I was going to ask, did you experience anything in your life Or is it just purely looking at the patients you encountered this situations? The reason why I'm asking is yesterday I was working on a project and it was way past, dinner time. And as I was working, um, I was feeling hungry, right?
Mhm.
And this, we are talking about 10 p.m., okay? And beyond, right? So I'm like, okay, I had some nuts there, I had some pumpkin seeds.
Mhm.
So I'm like, okay, instead of going for um, something junk, right? Like ice
Mhm.
cream or something, I thought like, oh yeah, let me eat some nuts. And the reason why I'm saying this is, so I had some nuts and it was fulfilling and I was working, and by the time I finished, um, it was around 12:30
Mhm.
a.m.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so then when I went to bed, I was feeling a little lightheaded.
Mm.
And I'm like, okay, what did I do that, because I don't feel it that way. And it's interesting, we are talking about the gut brain issues. And I'm like, so this morning when I got up, and I'm like, okay, this is not usual that I felt lightheaded when I went to bed. So I looked at, what I did yesterday, and I'm like, okay, these are the things I had, and I usually don't eat nuts that late in the night.
Mhm.
But as I was working, I didn't want to choose junk food, so I thought like the nuts will help. But that is not something I usually do, right? Before bed. And so that's why my body was like telling me, like, stop, what are you doing?
Mm.
And I thought that will help because the pumpkin seeds has protein and whatnot.
Right.
So how did you get started? Like, is it because of your own experience, or is it because you are seeing your patients come through that made you want to look at the root cause? Because me and you, we both think the same way. I go to the root cause of where it is coming from rather than fixing just the surface level stuff.
Mhm. I would say both. Honestly, I've dealt with chronic issues myself with brain fog, bloating,
Mm,
just some other like digestive issues. And I'm I probably nurses are probably the worst patients because we don't go to the doctor or
mm,
anything like that. So um I always knew deep down that not necessarily not reaching out to the doctor, but I knew that in order to fix my digestive issues, a pill wasn't going to be able to do it.
mm-hmm,
So, and just seeing that in my patients, so that's what led me down the holistic path was
mm,
um, wanting to learn more about nutrition and just how the body works, and even down to the basics of like what vitamins help what
mm,
minerals and what minerals help what neurotransmitters, and and how it all is interconnected. So that would be the reason why, and not just in myself, but in other family members. They've just dealt with so many chronic issues, and their life has just been affected so much, and become so limited that I wanted to help them, but I also, through helping them, wanted to help myself as well. So
wow.
that's,
That is so true, though. We don't realize how the vitamins or the food we eat and the minerals, the nutrition that is in that, and the connection with the neurotransmitters. And it's like it can be a negative loop, but we can make it into a positive loop and help our body rather than impacting us in a negative way. That
Mhm.
is well said. Um, so describe to me your journey. So you saw in yourself how the bloating and the brain fog and the digestive issues, how it was impacting you. You also saw it in your family members and you wanted to help them. And as a nurse, you are a travel nurse, correct?
Yeah, I've been a travel nurse since 2019, and
Mm,
before prior to that um I'm a critical care nurse
mm,
by trade, but I've also dabbled in hospice nursing, and I did that for about 6 years, and then
mm,
like home health nursing.
mm,
So the critical care has kind of been my passion lately. So
mm,
just helping the sickest of the sick. Um,
mm. So when you are helping the sickest of the sick, um, I know it impacts your mindset too. How do you keep it all together and taking care of your health? It's a lot on your plate.
yeah. I would say, we're all on a healing journey, and
Yes.
mine is definitely still in progress.
Mhm.
So, I used to, before I became more on the holistic path, I would have to say that when I would deal with stress, I would try to escape through not so good choices, like
Mhm.
alcohol and things like that.
Mhm.
But once I started learning the effects that alcohol really has on the body and the mind and the spirit, it really opened my eyes to that there's a better way
Mhm.
to manage stress, to
Mhm.
manage life,
Mhm.
and you can still escape life. You just don't have to drown it.
Yes. Oh, that's so good. You can still escape life. You don't have to drown in it. Is that what you
Mhm.
said?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow. That is so true. Um, because it is our choice whether we want to drown in it. We all have stress.
Hmm.
And sometimes we escape through alcohol, sometimes we escape through overeating,
Hmm.
sometimes we escape through overworking out.
Yeah, yeah.
Sometimes we escape through just sitting and watching movies. We don't realize um, how it is impacting our body. Or
Hmm.
sometimes, I've seen some people escape through eating sweets and ice cream, which I've done. It's like, oh, it's a quick fix. Okay,
Yeah.
let me just watch, Netflix show or whatnot, and yeah, I mean, yes, you're right. We can escape through healthier ways
Hmm.
rather than drowning in it. That is, thanks for bringing that to the limelight because it's important. We are all human beings and we all have our faces, right? And how we handle it, it's not like, oh, Corey does it better than me. No, it's like whatever stage we are in, we have to acknowledge, like, okay, this is where I'm feeling the stress. This is where I get triggered. That is important. And instead of comparing it with somebody else, because we don't know what they have gone through to
Right,
come to that level. Maybe they are at, in their pathway from step one, they are already at step nine. I cannot compare my step one to somebody's step nine.
right. Yeah,
So, thanks for saying that. So we can escape, but we don't have to drown. That is
yeah.
powerful. Um, so I know you said you take me through the steps, how you found out, what made you find out, okay, this is what is triggering me, and then what steps did you take to get to that gut brain axis? Like, take me through the process, if you don't mind.
Well, I found this school down in Georgia
Hmm.
called Holistic Health Educators, and actually found them online. I had been kind of searching for the next step in my education, And I knew that I didn't want to just stick with traditional nursing. So I was kind of just looking at like functional medicine and all these other programs. And I came across this women's retreat at this school. And I was like, you know what, I'm just going to go check it out, see who they are, see if, this is something I want to do. And it was life-changing for me to be
Mm,
around a group of women who were non-judgmental, who just welcomed me with open arms and just wanted to see me be at my best and encourage me. And um, I never had really felt that before.
mm,
It
mm,
was so empowering, and I just dove right in into their programs and learning, and through the different types of just things that I was seeing, like with myself, my friends, and my family, drew me to the gut brain access, especially with mental health.
mm,
So I'm neurodivergent myself.
mm,
My son is also,
mm.
and I just wanted to be able to just be at a more optimal level of health so that way I could process my emotions better, um, just be a little bit more rational, reasonable, not so, the mood swings, from one extreme to the next. And I really learned that through diet, exercise, just basic things, going
Yeah.
out into the sun,
Yes.
walking, breathing. The way that you breathe can really affect the way that you sleep, the way that you think. I mean, it was just so eye-opening that I just dove into like so many programs.
Yes.
And I ended up, so far, I'm a certified health coach, holistic health coach, and a therapeutic nutrition counselor, and I'm on my way to becoming a holistic health practitioner. Um, just because I saw the difference that it made in my life when I just applied. We have like a 10-step framework that we go through, and it's basically just 10 steps to optimal health, getting your detox pathways open. Um, I mean, just in general, a great routine to follow, to just have a more healthy life. So.
Wow. Um, that is so true, though. You touched all the important points that I talk about. That's why I say, we both have so many things in common. And when you talked about retreat, um, that is why the retreat that I am having in September 25, 26, and 27th, I talk about the breathing. I talk about, I help people with doing yoga and the impact it has on our body. And when you mentioned how the breath can impact our sleep and the way we think, that is so true, though. Um, and not to take off the topic, um, what happened was when I attended my retreat, it's interesting how when we attend retreats and when we are surrounded by people who just embrace us, accept us as who we are in a non-judgmental fashion, that helps everyone grow
Yeah.
and evolve, right? So the retreat I attended, I actually was there to help my friend. She injured her ankle, so she was on a scooter. So
Mhm.
I drove almost 10 hours just to help her and be around her. So it was a great experience. I learned a lot. I learned more than what I should or expected, I should say. Um, but what I mean by that is when we were sitting in the porch, there was swarm of bees, by the side in the grass, and for some reason, they felt like we invaded their space. So they came, and one bee came and stung, or, it was a bumblebee.
Mm.
Apparently, bumblebees don't sting. So
Mm.
anyway, it came and stung one of the attendees by the eye, and then another one on the shoulder.
Oh,
So
wow.
yes, and thank God no one is allergic. So everybody was feeling okay. And what happened was, one of the person in the retreat was like, should I just swat it? And I'm like, no, leave it alone. If it is not bothering us, let's not impact them.
Yeah.
So 2 days later, the last day of the retreat, I was sitting there, and before I came to sit down, I was helping the cook. He was boiling some water. After he finished cooking, he was boiling some water, and he looked at me and a couple of others in the room and said, "Can someone open the door for me?" So in my mind, I'm like, okay, let me just help him, you know. And so I opened the door without knowing why he's taking the boiling water or where he's taking it. Then I waited to see where he's taking, and he was pouring into the place where the bees were. I was like, oh my goodness, I didn't, that was not my intention. I
Yeah.
just wanted to help him. So the reason why I'm telling you this is, the intention, even though our intention is good, what action are we supporting matters too.
Mm.
you know
Yeah.
so then after that, I came and sat down because my friend was doing the coaching. So I was sitting down, and then a few minutes later, this bee came and stung right underneath my left eye. And that was the first ever time I got stung. I was like, oh my goodness, it was stinging me so bad. And I put my head down, and another attendee came and asked me, hey, did you get stung? I'm like, I think so. And
Oh.
so I didn't want to disturb the coaching that was going on. So I quietly just removed myself and went into the lake house, and sat down. So another lady came and applied baking soda and water paste on on the area where it stung. And
Mm.
so the reason why I'm telling all this story is, I was just focusing on my breath, because I could tell my adrenaline was rushing and the cortisol level was going high. And I
Mhm.
was like breathing so a shallow manner, which is natural, right? When you are stressed. So when I noticed that, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to calm myself down. And now that lady came and applied the baking soda water paste. It helped me as well.
Mhm.
So then I noticed myself that my breathing is out of whack. So then I calmed down myself and focused on my breathing. And I noticed also, because it's the self-awareness comes first, right? Then we acknowledge,
Yeah.
then we accept, and then we adapt, and then we change. So, I was aware, and then I acknowledged that my breath was out of whack. And then I sat down and I told the lady, thank you so much. I'm going to sit down. And she's like, do you want my help? I said, I'm good for right now. So she left. And literally, Corey, I'm not kidding. I quieted, I quieted myself down, and I asked quietly, why, why did I go through this? What is the lesson I'm supposed to learn from this? And I
Mhm.
was able to do that only after I calmed down my breath, and I
Yeah.
just focused on my breathing. Then I got the answer. The answer was, the message was, it does not matter what my intentions are, even though my intentions were to help the cook. So he was carrying a heavy bowl of water.
Yeah.
But what action am I supporting also matters.
Mm.
And the reason why I'm saying this is, once we are able to calm down our breath and regulate our breath, to your point, you said it helps us think. That is so important. So,
Mhm.
the listeners, when Corey said, the way we breathe, it helps us to sleep better. It also impacts the way we think. That is so true. That's the reason why I'm telling you the story is, it made me, once I regulated my breathing pattern, it made me want to tune into myself and understand, why this happened and what step can I take next. If I was still shallow breathing, I could not have done that.
Right.
So thanks for that. That is a golden nugget.
Mm.
Just people take breath for granted, and
Yeah.
when we go to bed, we just assume we are going to get up next morning.
Mm.
And I'm like, not everybody who goes to bed gets up next morning. So we just take so many things for granted. And, when we pay attention to the breath and the sleeping patterns, all makes sense. So you said you are a certified holistic coach and you are a nutritional counselor and you are on your way to,
A holistic health practitioner.
wow.
Yeah.
So it's much more comprehensive. So you are a holistic coach, you are a nutrition counselor, and a holistic wellness practitioner or
Health practitioner. Yeah.
health practitioner.
Hmm.
Beautiful, beautiful. And so if the listeners who are listening, and there's still time available to sign up for the women's retreat, reach out to me. Because like Corey said, when you are supported by women who are non-judgmental, who accept you for who you are, changes happen. Um, so you teach people the 10-step framework for optimal health. Um, Tell me a little bit about what people think and about the food we eat, how it impacts our gut and how it affects our brain.
I mean, the self-awareness that you talk about is, I think, critical with the food that we eat, even the time that we take to eat it. So,
Mm,
and the atmosphere that you're in, whether you're scrolling on your phone while you're eating, if you're rushing, um,
mm,
really matters. To just take a moment before you eat.
yeah.
Before you, I'm not even talking about what's on your plate, but literally just taking time when you sit down to eat to take that moment and
Mm,
just calm yourself down. Because when you're in a rush, your digestive organs aren't receiving the blood flow that it needs to process and absorb whatever food is on your plate. Um, so I think I have a mealtime checklist that I
mm,
go over with my clients that include, putting your phone down, taking
mm.
a couple deep breaths before, or even praying over your food, and the
Yes.
gratitude that everyone needs to feel sometime throughout the day, of just being able to, be thankful for the food that's in front of you, and how it's going to nourish your body. And when we have that thought between our brain and our gut,
Oof.
it really doesn't even matter I don't want to say it doesn't matter what's on the plate, because it does matter what's on the plate, but just having that calmness and that gratitude, and you'll see your digestive process just go a lot more smooth. You won't necessarily feel that get acid reflux,
Mm,
your body will work correctly. And when you eat, the next step is to, an hour or two later, is to go into the bathroom. Like, that's how a
mm,
normal digestive system is supposed to work.
mm,
So what goes in must come out.
mhm.
So, within that hour, 2 hour range after you eat. So that can kind of give you a clue as to
Yeah.
if your digestive system's working properly. How many bowel movements are you having a day? How many meals are you having compared to those bowel movements? If you're eating 3 meals a day and not even having a bowel movement that day, then we need to take a look at what you're actually doing when when you're sitting down to eat.
Wow, that is so valuable. And thanks for acknowledging how to be calm and having a grateful moment. I do that. And I see the value in it. Just saying thank you for the food that is in front of us,
Hmm.
just acknowledging rather than just rushing. And have I done scrolling on the phone and eating? Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
We all
perfection
do
is,
it.
yeah, it's not about perfection. It's just about,
Yeah.
consistency.
Yes. And thanks for saying, it's not about perfection. That is so true. Um, and just acknowledging the food that is in front of us, it makes a huge difference rather than just, gobbling it all in.
Mhm.
Um, and putting the phone down. This is a reminder for me. It's like, oh yes, okay. Next time when I scroll, it's like, okay, remember what Corey said. Even sometimes we know all those stuff. It's good to hear from somebody else. It's like, oh yeah, that's a good reminder. You know what I'm saying? So awesome. So the time we take to eat, you said that is important. You also mentioned the atmosphere we are in, scrolling the phone or rushing and taking a moment when eating. And you said the digestive process is impacted when we rush through. And you said the thought between the gut and the brain. Um, so that's important. So when we take a moment to be grateful, that is a thought that happens, between the gut and the brain. Is that
Yeah.
correct? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. That gratitude is going to put you in a state of rest and digest.
Mhm.
So, and even chewing your food, making sure that you chew your food a good amount of times. They say, 20 to 30 times. Because um, have you, there's a really good book. It's called Breath by James Nestor. And he talks about the art of even chewing your food because the mastication that our jaws are doing helps produce stem cells for
Wow.
our brain
Hmm.
to help with.
With the way we chew, it produces stem cells for the brain.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's
And the
really
book, the
interesting.
book is called Breath by what? Who?
James Nestor.
Sir? Okay.
Yeah,
That
this
is,
this book right here.
oh yeah, The New Signs of Lost Art.
Yes.
Wow. And bring your book a little bit up. Oh, James Nestor. Okay, thank you. Thank you, thank you.
This is a book that you will want to read a few times because there's
Mm,
so much information in it that
mm.
it's I mean, yeah,
Wow.
it has a lot of
Uh,
information that are it's definitely breathing is a lost art because most of us are mouth breathers and
yeah.
it changes the shape of our face.
Mhm.
So it's interesting.
So that goes to say the dental hygiene is important too. It
Yeah.
all plays a role, right? When
Hmm.
you talk about breathing, when you talk about chewing, and when you talk about chewing, um, brushing the teeth, flossing, before going to bed. And so that impacts, our sleep, and the dental hygiene impacts our gut health, and that impacts our brain health and all of that.
Yeah, we're all connected,
Yes.
definitely. It
Yes.
all works together. So,
Yeah. Our each action we take impacts our health positively or negatively.
mhm.
Um, so, do you have any mentors who have mentored you, or who inspires you? What keeps you motivated?
I would say my family through the holistic health educators, they have become family. I'm actually um, going to Seattle for the first time next week um,
Yay!
for a conference with them that is going to be over just a bunch of detox through Quicksilver Scientific. They're a detox company that they specialize in detox and gut repair. So
Mm.
that'll be interesting. Um, along with uh, the microbiome and things like that. So, but they are definitely my inspiration to keep going and they have a mission to integrate the allopathic world again with the holistic world in healthcare. And I think we are the foot soldiers of that
Mm.
mission. So
It's one step at a time, and you are bridging the gap between the allopathic world and the holistic world.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah, because there's a place for both,
Yes.
it's you have those acute care crises that need to be fixed right away, and then longevity comes in, and that's where holistic healthcare comes in. That's where the education on, your diet, your lifestyle, your exercise, just even, I don't even really like using the word exercise because I feel like, when people think of exercise, they think, oh, I got to go to the gym and I got to do this.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, you just need to move your body.
Yes. Thank you for saying that. Yes. You just
So,
need to move your body. Yeah. However you move, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yes. Oh my God, that is so true. Because when I'm teaching my students in yoga, they are like, I have women in their 70s,
Mhm.
men in their 50s, to women in 60s, to women in the 20s, right? So a woman in the 60s will be like, oh, I don't think I can do that, and I can do that move. I'm like, do whatever your body allows you to. Nobody
Yeah,
says this is set rule. Do you have to do all of this? You do your body, whatever your body allows you to. When you move, then your body is like, you're introducing something that your body has not done. So it's going to take some time to adjust and modify it. But
right.
I tell people you can always modify. There is not a set way. So thanks for saying just let your body move.
Mhm. Yeah.
It's, putting on a music and just moving to that is good enough.
Yeah, yeah. Dance is a wonderful way to move the body, for
The,
sure.
and when we move the body, it moves the lymph, which is part of the immune system.
Right.
So the body enjoys the movement, and it helps improve the lymph flow,
Mhm.
and that impacts their nervous system and their immune system. When you said rest and digest, puts their mind or the body in a rest and digest state. Um, just when we are saying gratefulness, for the food or for the actions that we are taking, just like that, when they are taking a deeper breath, it massages their vagus nerve. Would you say yes?
Oh, yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
breath work is a definite way to relax that vagus nerve and also move the lymph system too.
Yes.
So,
Because vagus nerve goes through their thoracic cavity and even in their soft palate. And yeah, so it, it,
mhm.
it makes sense. But sometimes we complicate things in our head, like, oh, I have to go to the gym, or I like simple walking. Just go, like you said, just go out, get some vitamin D from the sun, and just
Mhm.
take a walk, right? And
Yeah,
sometimes I put on music, or like motivational speeches, and then walk. Sometimes I'm like, I just want to listen to the nature and just be present and just walk.
yeah.
And it's so good for our body and mind and emotional
Mhm.
health as well.
Yeah, it really is. Throughout this process, I've just been walking, out in nature 3 times a week, just like you said, trying to be present. And it really does elevate your energy, your mood, your stamina, everything. It
Mhm.
really,
Yeah,
just a simple walk around the neighborhood. So,
yeah. So what is next for you? I know you're going to Seattle next week for the conference. That is just for the nurses or the people in the healthcare field?
um, well, it's a part of the school that I'm attending for the holistic health practitioner. So,
Okay.
that's what it's for is but I'm I was invited through the school. I'm just showing up. They have the tickets for me, so I don't know if anybody can come or or they
Okay,
just said they just invited me, so I was like, okay, let's
beautiful.
go. So
And how long is the process for you to get your certification as a holistic health practitioner?
it's about 2 years.
2 years. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So,
Um,
but I
so
can already do like functional labs, and I am trained in live blood cell microscopy um, already. So
live blood cell what?
it's live blood cell analysis.
Analysis. Okay.
So I just take a sample, just a finger prick of like a drop of blood and put it under a microscope, and I'm able to just by the shape of the red blood cells and the white
Yeah.
blood cells, to see like their nutritional status.
Wow.
You can see different like microbes that are kind of floating around and
Mm,
see like depending on their shapes and sizes and their clusters to see if there's like an underlying infection that's going on because a lot of
mm,
people have like a low-lying infection that
mm,
is contributing to their chronic illness.
mm,
And then I can also see like if they're iron deficient,
mm,
or even sometimes even through my training and my mentor in the live blood cell analysis, he was able to tell that I had the MTHFR mutation.
mm.
So just a simple live, drop of
Wow.
blood that can say so much,
Yeah.
especially if there's mold involved, Lyme disease, other things like Bartonella, which can be related to having like cats in your home,
Wow.
things like that. So
Wow.
you can also see if there's parasites kind of floating around because parasites, they don't like to live in the big vessels of your blood. They like to hide out in your tissues.
Oh,
And
wow.
so that way, the antibiotics or, the not the antibiotics, but your immune system has a harder time finding them out
Mm,
in the tissues than just in your regular vasculature.
mm. Um, so depending on how, whether it is acute or chronic, if it is chronic, it's going to take some time and you guide them through the process, how to eliminate that.
Mm-hmm.
If it is parasites or, based on what you observe.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. Um, how can people get in touch with you, either for nutritional counseling or um, for the holistic coaching, or even for the live blood cell analysis? Like, how do they get in touch with you?
I'm gonna just give you my email.
Okay.
That way they can contact me directly. I am actually working on a website right now. But the email, it's the Apotho'Corrie LLC at gmail.com. It's TheapothoCorriellc at gmail.com. Lots of O's.
I got it. I got it. Perfect. That way I can put it in the timestamps and people can reach out to you.
Okay.
Um, Perfect. And you do telehealth, I'm assuming?
Yeah, yep. I have a completely confidential, HIPAA compliant platform that I use called Practice Better. So we'll do telehealth through that. Also, it has the capability of tracking your nutrition and activity and even integrating with like your Fitbits and whatnot. So, but I have some courses through there and I can create protocols and stuff, but I just want to add the disclaimer that obviously I'm not a doctor. And I wouldn't even be acting as a nurse with providing protocols. It's just for education and entertainment purposes only, because obviously
Mhm.
we're not to that integration yet.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So,
And people who are aligned with that thought process,
mhm.
they are welcome to reach out to you via email and to receive your telehealth services. Okay, perfect. And one um, one last question. So, if you can create um, one one rule or principle that will benefit everybody, what would that be?
I would say sunlight.
Sunlight.
So, yeah, just getting out in the sun without sunglasses. The best way to absorb vitamin D is actually through your retinas. So if you can train yourself to just take the sunglasses off and become acclimated to the sunlight, the best time to get sun is in the morning, as the sun is coming up, or at dusk when the sun is going down. That is the safest time to even look into the sun to do some sun gazing. But the vitamin D is also not just a vitamin, but it's also a hormone that it trickles down to every process in your body. So sunlight is probably number one on my list of that and water. So that would be what I would say is the best thing to do. So did I lose you? So I just want to thank Aurora for having me on. I appreciate this opportunity to come on and speak to you guys and to your followers. And if you guys are looking or interested in any type of holistic healthcare, please reach out. Again, my email is theapothocorriellc@gmail.com. And the website is coming soon. So thank you.